Hello there, good to see you again. Today we're going to be creating this realistic skull from Mont Marte Air Hardening Modelling Clay. Now it's going to be a great art challenge, and at the end of it you'll have a fantastic reference model, or at least you'll have an interesting conversation piece. So grab your Mont Marte Air Hardening Modelling Clay and let's get into it. Well, the first step to make our skull is to print out these two sheets of the PDF, and this has all the exact dimensions, and the best thing I think is to lay them on the wall in front of you or on the table there. Next we take some alfoil and we have to create a large ball, and this will be the core of our skull. This is a 10-meter roll and the whole thing will be used. Don't compact the alfoil too much, but make sure it is quite tight. Keep referring to the PDF images to make sure you are on the right track. And just keep going until you're happy with the dimensions. At this stage, I grab the roll and kind of panel beat it into the desired shape. And again, keep going until the core is roughly 20 millimeters inside the line on the reference image. Once we're fairly happy with our core, and it's roughly that shape and fairly compressed, we can cut open our clay. I open the clay, and while I have my scissors out, I cut off slabs approximately 20 millimeters thick and lay them on one next to the other until the core is covered. It is very important to keep this fairly thick, as you need all that clay to work with. Well, I've got the top part of the skull done, so essentially we just coat the whole core like this. Join the edges of each piece of clay together and ensure it is smoothish all over. Add extra clay to areas if you feel it needs it. Once you're happy with the shape, smooth it with a little bit of water. Rub the skull smooth with lots of water. So now with our clay all smoothed out over our alfoil, we can start to roughly shape. And we do that with our thumbs by pushing and pulling the clay around, like under the eye sockets here. Make sure that the clay is nice and damp so it yields nicely. This is why also it's important to have at least 20 mils of clay on top of your alfoil, so if you need it you can take it and move it around to another spot if you need to, and keep referring to your PDF printouts for reference. Creating the eye sockets is really easy. Just apply some pressure and voila! A bit of a pinch and a bit of a pull and the brown bones appear. Relocating the clay and moving it around is easy with this method. Because the clay is quite soft and the core has the ability to compress, you have a lot of control on how deep you make the recess. Well, most of the dimensions are okay and the skull is fairly smooth. So the last main element that we have to do before we can start detailing is the jawbone. Now, we know that the jaw is separate from the skull, but to model it like that creates sculptural problems. But if we create the two sides of each jaw and blend them in, the undercut will still be in there and it should look great. You will notice on your PDF these two shapes here. That's the left and the right side of the jaw. So if you create these shapes to about 1 centimeter thick, we can then lay them in like this and blend them in. Now at this stage, we'll probably be needing some tools, and I'm using the Mont Marte mini modeling tools for this. So once we're happy with the placement, blend this into the jaw. So with our jaw now complete, we can start the detailing. And a logical place will probably be to put in the teeth. Now, an adult human has 32 teeth in their head. That is, of course, if they've taken care of them and brushed twice a day. So the first thing we need to do is to put in a line where the two rows of teeth join. There, he's smiling. Once we have our line in, we draw another central line down the middle, and then we create 8 lines that way and 8 lines that way, giving us 16 teeth on the top and 16 teeth on the bottom. The next step is to dome over each one of these teeth like that. Once the teeth are drawn up, we basically have to put a little concave onto each tooth, and basically that can be done like this. I use the curved end of the tool to do this and add water every now and then to keep the clay subtle. Once you're happy with how the teeth are shaped, you can use a soft brush to remove any burrs. This smooths off the teeth as well. Well, this is essentially finished. All we need to do now is just take a little bit of clay out of the nose area and then just put the joins in the skull, and they're called the sutures. Well, that was great fun, and I love the way it just evolved. And I hope that you got something from it too. And if you did like it and you're not there now, then come over to our webpage at montmarte.net, where we've got lots more lessons. We also have our blogs and our Facebook there, and our family feed. And if you subscribe to that, you can get free hints and tips to really help you with your art. So until we meet again, remember to keep on creating.